right, I'm live. Wait, I can't look at the thing that's delayed or I'll fucking go nuts. All right. What's going on, guys? Ask questions in the YouTube chat if you want them answered. I say that now because there's a delay typically from when I'm talking to when you see this. So if you have questions, ask them now and then I'll get to them when I'm ready for questions. Otherwise, there's like this weird lull that happens where it's like, hey, ask questions, and everyone has to wait to see that and then they ask the question. So ask questions now. It can be about anything. We're going over today's spread. We got 4-card spread. Five of Pentacles. This is an interesting one. We're going to talk about this a lot. Meaning is shifted for me. 9 of Wands was next. Reversed. I do reversals. I'm not afraid of reversals. You afraid of reversals? Stop being a pussy. High Priestess reversed. Oh, interesting. And Ask Body. This one's been coming up a lot, and we'll talk about that. And if it's only coming out of one channel in the ear, in the headphones, I don't know what to tell you. I can't figure it out. I mean, I guess I can, but like I'm not really sure exactly what's going on there. It's something with the interface. Anyone knows how to do this with a Universal Audio Apollo 4, let me know. Anyway, regardless, let's go over these cards. You don't care about audio technical shit, do you? All right, ask your questions too. 5 of Pentacles. All right. So this card traditionally is associated with kind of like poverty, hard times. You can see there's 2 people outside of a church, stained glass window with 5 pentacles on it. Pentacles being symbolic of wealth, not just material. Everyone always thinks material, financial, and that's totally awesome. Everyone loves that. But that emanates from psychological, emotional, spiritual, those types of wealth. So this is usually a card of hard times, but I've had 2 friends, 2 people. One, Sean Dunn from Very 8 Podcast and Very 8 TV.tv. Go check out their documentaries. They're the best. Sean and Cass. He said he loves this card and I was like, dude, why? I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, they're helping each other. Like, you see how they're like together? They're helping each other. And I was like, holy shit, that's insane and amazing and totally accurate, because that's what the tarot is. You imbue whatever you means to you. So I was like, that's interesting. So then I was doing a reading like a week or 2 later, and this came up in the guy's reading, and I think he was a nurse, and he was trying to organize, like basically put people in positions of power who cared about people in the nursing industry, which I guess is atypical. Yeah, maybe check my input channel. Sometimes one input. Yeah, I did check it. I mean, it is a mono. It's one microphone, but it should theoretically get split into the thing. Anyway, I digress. So someone else mentioned, I was like, this card, this is what it means. But I explained to him what my friend, he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's cooperation. It's helping each other. And I was like, whoa, that's amazing. So that's what this means now for me, is it's cooperation. I love that as a slant rather than being like hard times, right? That's not good. I got to shave too. Fuck. I get my razor coming today. All right, next card. 9 of Wands reverse. We'll look at it upright. Okay, glare. 9 of Wands. This is like the card of being battered and bruised, but it'd be slick if I had another camera like here where I could put this down and it could show it there. I can do that. I can figure that out. But the 9 of Wands is really like, it's having the shit kicked out of you. It's like totally having your, not physically, hopefully, that would be pretty bad, but just like you've been put through the ringer, you've gone through a lot of stuff and you've learned, you've had to learn lessons, but you're still standing. So reversed, I like to look at this as acceptance and just kind of like, just let it be. What did I write? Hold on. I should probably look what I wrote, but it is that vibe of acceptance. What did I write? I have to look at my own stuff. Release. Yes. This is like the way to deal with this is you just let it go. You just let it go. This is a big thing I've been talking about or realizing. I don't know how much I've been talking about it, but, when you catch other people's energies, and yes, everyone is you pushed out, but let's play the duality game. When you catch other people's energies, sometimes like my tendency is always want to transmute it, like flip it back and make it positive. Like judo flip negative energy into positive energy, right? Poverty into abundance, feeling bad into good. But sometimes that's not really what you're supposed to do with it. You're supposed to catch it, maybe, you feel it, and then release it. And that's what this is. Like if you are getting the shit kicked out of you, and you're just like, oh, why is it always, there's always this stuff, and it's a thing, and it's one thing after the other, and it's like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, let it go. Let it go. You're probably not the only one with audio issues. Is it only coming out of one ear? If you're listening in headphones, if you just unplug it, I'm sorry there's audio issues, so we'll get it sorted. Half the people don't have any issues, and half the people do. It's pretty weird. Anyway, release this shit, right? If you're having audio issues, release it. But that really is it's the move right now for a lot of stuff, especially if there are people in your life who this is not disengaged necessarily, kind of is disengaged. But you know, just be mindful of what's going on in situations. You don't always have to make it good. You don't always have to like make it into something good. Sometimes a person just wants to go through that shit themselves. Right? Okay. High Priestess. This is a real doozy. All right. So this has been coming up. A lot of people have been asking about weed and cannabis. And to me, the High Priestess is a clear gateway to cannabis. Cannabis is a clear gateway to the High Priestess, which is the unconscious. And so depending on your relationship with your unconscious, depending on your relationship with yourself, this is going to be either incredibly pleasant, or maybe if not pleasant, revealing in a helpful way, which is pleasant, or terrifying, horrible, paranoia, anxiousness, social anxiety, all of those things. And if that's your reaction to weed, I found myself in a reading for the first time basically telling people, turn inward for all perceived audio issues. Exactly. That's the... Thanks, Nathan. If that's your reaction to cannabis, I'm not telling you that you need to smoke it and you need to ingest it and you need to do all this stuff, but it does get this unconscious material to percolate up. And, it basically is a good thing. But I don't want to tell people you have to use it. You don't. It's not for everyone, I guess. But it is one of those things if you're running away from it because it's like things get paranoid or weird or not great. And it's like that's probably because it's trying to show you something. And it's important to pay attention to what those things are. And we all have our own ways of dealing with stuff. When I did ayahuasca a few days ago, I was like, show me the dark shit. Show me the stuff where it's going to be bad because I'm a schmucky guy sometimes. And it's like, nah, you're good. I'm like, what? So just be willing to embrace the dark stuff and see what shows you. Sometimes you'll be told, you'll know it's fine. And sometimes you got a little work to do. It's all good. And sometimes you're just a pure light being of love, light, creation, harmony, and trust. So that's good. The High Priestess, though, like this is kind of like an invitation to deal with your shadow side, deal with the unconscious stuff, shed light on it. It'll just make you much more effective as a person. You'll be happier, which is the goal, right? Okay. Advice here. Ask body. So this is something I've really been paying attention to over the past few days, past weeks, really months, but acutely the past few days. Check in with your body and see what's going on. Little pains, are you getting sick? Are you dealing with that? You're dealing with this? I was watching the news today, and like there were just so many things about just stuff going wrong with people physically, and I'm like, whoa, what are they doing to people? So just check in with yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. Your symptoms, if there's anything happening, even if you feel uncomfortable in your own body, like if that happens, it's a sign that it's trying to tell you something. Maybe you need to get some energy out. Maybe you need to move it. Maybe it's not about changing your diet. It's determining what you want to do in your body. How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? And then changing it with your imagination, right? Embrace that using the mirror technique. Don't try to go do something in this world to change it, like dieting or exercise. That will naturally come when you make a change up here. And your body is super helpful. Like a lot of people neglect the body. When they start hearing things like consciousness precedes materiality, they're like, oh, fuck the body. It's not a real thing. This is kind of a Socrates thing, I believe. Like he was like, yeah, the body's not important. It's like, no, it's totally important. You wouldn't have one if you weren't. That's why we came here. We're basically aliens. Congratulations, Lee. Finally woke up. Well, waking up is great. Basically, check in with your body. I'd also say waking up is continual process after you kind of like pop out of the matrix. There's always lessons to learn. So I just point that out. It's always fun things. But yeah, your body is a really good instrument. And as you love your body, it loves you back. You get extra senses. There's so many senses we don't know about. We're just now discovering them. It's true. We'll see. There's now video proof of me saying that in early 2020, but like there's a lot of more senses. Like I'm aware of like 10 or 11 right now, somewhere around there. I should map them out for an episode. But anyway, check in with your body. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay, questions. This would be the time to get them in. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. This is your last chance. I have questions for episodes coming up, but I'm not going to deal with that on this because this was an impromptu thing. I was just kind of getting the signal to do one of these, and then the Five of Pentacles showed up. And, you know, if you're feeling like there's lack, it's not. Just cooperate. I took like 10 days off from smoking weed, and when I smoked again, it hit me that my imagination will act work. Yeah, weed is cool. Honor your relationship with it. Don't just honor your relationship. Just do what you want. Have fun. That's the whole fucking point. It's supposed to be fun. Grace in your face. There's good stuff. It's supposed to be fun. When you realize that, life gets a lot better. There's no rule that says it can't be fun. If you have ultimate choice because you're God and because you're everything, you can make it fun. Don't be reckless. Bear witness to other people's suffering. Fix that. You know, transmute it or release it. Whatever you want to do. It's all good. Just stabilize your own life. Totally doable. I think maybe I'll record some stuff. We'll do a little blueprint. Maybe I can put it on YouTube of like a step-by-step what worked for me over the past 6-7 months. That's a good idea. How do you continuously stay so magical? Great question, Ross Krentzman. Great question. I just remembered that I am, and so will everyone else too. That's the best thing. When you just decide that you're magical and know it and believe it, you stay magical. And if you get a little knocked off, you just have little things you know that you do. Ross Krentzman, very magical person. I bore witness to a transcendent state of consciousness many years ago. Good guy. Love to the family, buddy. What else we got going on? Any other questions? Do you have advice on ascending? Like some tips on how to do it, and how will you know when you're doing it? Well, you're always doing it. Here's the thing. Ascension is a process that we naturally do, right? God, consciousness, descended into man and woman, just we'll say humanity, humans, and we as humans ascend to God consciousness. Now we do this in our minds. We're born from above, as Neville Goddard would put it. It's the second birth. And when you wake up to it for real, not as a concept, not as like an intellectual, like, yeah, that sounds good. Not as like even listening to someone who like, yeah, directly experienced this. But when you experience this and prove it to yourself, it's a constant process and it's fun. The beauty is you get to kind of pre-select what you want when you wake up. It's like waking up in a movie and then realizing you're the producer, director, actor, producer, writer, director, actor. You're all of those. So you get to go from the base level, producer, then you're the writer, then you're the director, and then you here in this world, you're the actor. You're just like acting shit out. So when you go up to these upper levels in your consciousness, mirror world, I found another cool mirror thing. I'll talk about it in an episode. But basically, when you get the mirror world, you put yourself in an infinite hall of mirrors, and then you just do good stuff. I recommend like meditating, send yourself off in different directions, send love and compassion to people for real in infinite directions. That's a good thing. I'll talk about that more in another episode. You're the best, Lee. Okay. I think, listen, unless we get some other questions here we go. How do I deal with everything being all right and perfect? It's so uncomfortable. Yeah, since I'm not used to it, the things keep getting better and better. Yeah. I totally get this. Just accept it. That's the whole point. That's what this is. I know it's weird. Like people are used to like this, like meaning you got the shit beaten out of you, but it's also just like, why are things so good? Why are things so good? Just, it's all good. Just accept it. That's the best way. You've set this up for yourself. You catch some waves from some other people if they're feeling good, so you might be catching that, but just accept it. You gave yourself this gift. It's you, not anyone else. I ate some wild psilocybin yesterday, and I solidified the feeling so much. Now the old ways feel obsolete. Yeah, that's what happens. You remember the old you, and you're like, yo, what the fuck was that? Why was I doing that? Why was I feeling bad? when I didn't have to. You can, listen, suffering has its function. Going into suffering to experience it so you can alleviate it for yourself and other people, to make art, to make music, to make all of these things, there's value there. But it's a choice. Fucking, it is. And so, yeah, once you stabilize a powerful state of consciousness, is great. So, yeah, tips. Is that what you said? How do I deal with everything being all right and perfect? I don't know. Just accept it as awesome and fucking amazing and make things even more perfect and better for you first, and then people around you. You can start blessing other people. You just whip their shit into amazingness. That's fun. Who doesn't like that? All right. We're good? We're good? People got the download today? I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. If you want readings, I'll probably go on Instagram later today and do some phone readings if people want. They're not discounted, but they'll be like 10, 15-minute readings, $50 range, something like that. So you can check Instagram for those. But otherwise, we're good. Lots of love. Everything is great, guys. It's fucking great. Okay, love you. Bye-bye. Wait, I got to end this, actually.